Okay, so what kind of jobs what kind of things do people want? Well, the first point of call for you lot, if you want to be producer directive, is really to look at what's actually being made. And at the moment, I'm talking about TV. We'll move on a bit to kind of
handouts are in the packs.
Oh, in the packs.
Yeah, if you open the
So at this stage, if you want to pull out in your packs, you've got like a spotter's guide to factual formats. And pull those out. So have a quick look at them now, because I know there's doing a bit of a quiz. So obviously, one thing that's really important when you go into a new employer or a prospective employer or anybody else, and one thing that people don't, I don't know if Chris would agree, it's a fundamental thing people don't do often, is actually look at the websites, look at actually what the company are producing. And it's the same for TV as it is for if you're going to a manufacturer of light bulbs. So you should actually have a look at what they do first, and you should also look a bit about the company themselves. So the first thing I would do is look at what Channel 4, as we're here very much because Channel 4, we're going to look at what we've got on. So let's look at Channel 4 main station. So I don't know how much, if you've done media, you talked about formats and you know about formats, but let's look a little bit about what actually is required. So Channel 4 News. What's Channel 4 News? 55 minutes of news. What do you get on Channel 4 News? Stories. Yeah, and what's in... Pardon?
Huh?
Sorry, stories, yeah.
Yeah, I said true stories.
True stories, news stories, yeah. How do they tell those stories?
It's information that they're giving just to spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely. So who's in this? So how physically how do they do it? Someone's sitting there presenting, yeah, and then what happens? They say they cut to a package. Package, really important word there. Package. You know what is a package? You know what a package is?
Just something that's filmed away from the studio.
Yeah.
And then just put in.
And how long is it normally?
Couple of minutes.
Couple of minutes. So the person who's been making that package, which is what that's made of, has been making a film for about 2 or 3 minutes. Not too long. Not a very, very long kind of documentary that you might have. Forethought.tv. It's one of the 4 talent brands, actually. Anyone seen Forethought.tv?
Yeah, love it.
You love it?
I think it's really interesting.
Great, that's brilliant. So what is Forethought.tv?
So it's kind of like left-wing, different people's opinions on certain subjects and so forth.
How long is it?
It's only like 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. Okay, brilliant. So that's a 3-minute package. One person's opinion.
Yeah.
Somebody standing in a white room, isn't it, usually?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about Beanie's Restoration Nightmare? Anyone seen that?
I have, Jeremy.
Anyone know what the... Okay, so Sue, do you want to tell us what it is?
Yeah, so this girl who was a presenter, well, she still is a presenter, her and her husband have bought this stately home a few years ago for not much money. I think it was £400,000. It needs about literally 5 or 6 million spent on it, but it's their journey of turning it into livable conditions, really.
Okay, and so pretty much every week every time it's the same, pretty much, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's the same format, yeah.
Okay. Who knows about Grand Designs? Yeah. Well, Grand Design's on as well. It's another kind of. You see the link between restoration, relocation, Grand Designs. What do we call these things? They're formatted programs. Format programs. Let's just see if we can see any more format programs. Secret Millionaire? Is it the same every week? The format, different people in it, but is what they're doing the same format? It's a format program. Formatted program.
Daily Show.
Pardon?
The Daily Show with Jon Stewart is format as well.
Yeah. Okay. Can we see any more formats there? Anyone seen this?
Yeah.
It's a new series actually. Meet the Parent. That's another formatted kind of program. Grand Designs. I'm looking at the factual programs now. Relocation. Formatted programs. There's a few dramas bashed around there. If you're looking at your sheets, what you've got is broken down the different kinds of programs types that there are, and these formats are broken down so that they can be. So a lot of them can be made, and they're made up of these kind of packages within packages. If you think about grand designs, if you've ever seen that before, Kevin MacLeod goes and revisits the site of the house being built again and again and again. Now, the same people who go and film it, who direct those little packages, could be very different each time. So the point I'm trying to get at is you not necessarily making a very long bit of documentary. That's not required. Certainly when you start off being a producer-director and you hopefully progress from being a runner into being a producer-director. Okay, so that's my PowerPoint. Commissioning diagram. Well, do you know how things are commissioned for television? No? I'll give you a really quick go now. I'm really trying to hurry through this, but I will have a quick look at this and explain it. Dotting around a bit here. So, as a producer-director trying to get on telly, if you wanted to work with a production company and you wanted to pitch an idea, this is the kind of way that it works. You've got your the TV stations here. Here you are as a producer-director. You've got an idea. If you're freelance, this is, and not working for a company, you pitch it to small indies or super indies. Ever heard of super indies? No? Can you think of anyone think of an example? Everyone heard of Endemol? It's an example of a super indie. IPC, a few other people. There's quite a lot of them, and they can tend to be very, very big companies. Some of them own smaller indies, and they pitch straight into the companies. These companies don't make their own programs. So everything that's made by these companies is made by producer-directors working for these kind of companies. BBC, they do a mixture. They have internal producer-directors, so you might get a job with them eventually as a producer-director. But most people who work as producer-directors in the UK are actually working as freelancers for these kind of companies. And these guys get 75% or more commission. So if you're doing clever research, you want to get into that kind of way, most of the work's going this way. So research, Google super indies, find out who they are, see what they do. I'm going to crack on quickly. Again, ask me questions about this later on. BBC Three, I'll not do that again, I haven't got time for that. Okay, so let's just move on to MTV, and we're going to move on to social media. Now, by way of introduction to what you'll be doing the rest of the day, what I'm really saying is there's format TV, making packages for format TV is one of the most common ways a producer-director will work. They won't be these days, they won't be making an hour-long observational documentary about tea making. It's very unlikely. But the other big growth area, as you might imagine, is making content for online. And again, we've got Vicky here from Monkey Films in Bristol, who's going to be taking you through a workshop later on in how you might be able to produce social media content. And why? Well, social media is at the heart of everything MTV does. Why? Can you tell me why MTV are interested in producing content for their social media? Facebook, website, everything like that. Anyone got any ideas?
Because their target audience is sort of people like us who spend most of our time on the internet, and that's how we get most of our sort of information.
Absolutely. And actually something even more commercial than that, MTV team up with commercial brands, don't they? And the commercial brands are people that, like Nike, people like that, people who've got brands that you might like, and they want to draw all that together. They want you looking at their stuff online, and they also want you to kind of jump off from other brands to MTV. And those brands themselves, those big brands themselves, and I've just picked Elle just because Kat, who works at Queen of Shots, suggested it, that she'd noticed something that they did. And if I just go onto their website, they're producing their own content. They're kind of like producing LTV. And of course for them it makes total sense for you to kind of like be, you know, get into their kind of content they have online, so that you buy the magazine, that you buy the clothes, that they get money off the advertisers from the clothes, etc, 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 etc. And brands, I mean, I think Chris will bear it out, brands are more and more commissioning their own content. And actually,
We do.